Assalamualaikum. Now we are going to perform lab 2 master cylinder inspection, removal and refitting for subject vehicle brake system. So this is the sample model that is complete with a brake system here. So here, as we see, there is a pedal brake switch, then connected to the brake booster. Then brake booster will connect with the master cylinder. From the master cylinder consists of two piston. One of the piston will send the hydraulic fluid to the rear brake system, and another one will send the hydraulic fluid to the front brake system. Okay, next we are going to perform the procedure to remove the master cylinder from the vehicle. First of all, we have to empty the brake reservoir. Uh, we are going to use the suction method to remove the brake fluid, to suck out the brake fluid in the reservoir. Before that, we have to place a tray underneath the vehicle to avoid the brake fluid drop on the floor, to avoid accident. As the brake fluid is very acidic, so it is very dangerous. So after we have emptied the brake reservoir, next we are going to remove the brake line that connect the master cylinder and the caliper and brake drum. Okay, so first remove one of the brake line from the master cylinder. Using remove the connector first. So now we can remove one of the brake line. So this is one of the brake line. Now remove the other brake line from the master cylinder. Since the master cylinder consists of two pistons, so it will have two brake line. One of the brake line connects to the rear brake system. One of it connected to the front brake system. So we just remove it. Okay, now we have done removing the brake line. from the master cylinder. So now we are going to remove the brake fluid indicator. The function is to send signal to the driver through the panel meter. So if you see the brake indicator from the panel, so it comes from here. So so why we need the indicator is if there is any leakage in the brake system, signal, it will send signal to the driver. Besides that, if the brake pad or lining brake is already not in good condition, so the piston will push out too much, so the brake fluid will going down, so it will send the driver signal to the driver telling that the brake pad and lining brake is not in good condition. So now we are going to remove the brake master cylinder from the brake servo. It only connected using two bolt. So just remove the two bolt to remove the master cylinder from the brake servo. Okay, now we already done removing the master cylinder from the brake servo. Okay, now we are going to uh, so now we are going to overhaul the master cylinder. So firstly we are going to remove the reservoir from the master cylinder that is connected with only one screw. So after we unscrew it, just push it out from the master cylinder. So this is the seal. Remove it. Okay, now we are going to take out the piston from the master cylinder. So we need to unscrew the stopper. So here the stopper. Next, take out the pin. Okay, then just remove the piston from the master cylinder. Okay, this is the first piston. Now we are going to take out the second piston. Okay, here is the second piston. So this piston is going to control the rear brake, and this one is the second piston will control the front brake. Okay, so for the inspection, master cylinder. So as what we see, the piston is already uh, is in bad condition, rusty. So uh, if it is in good condition, it should be easy to take out from the master cylinder. So in this case, it is not in good condition. So it is suggested to remove the master cylinder, change it to the brand new. Now we are going to connect the master cylinder back. To make it easy, we just place the position. So before we are going to insert the piston, we need to apply some brake fluid in the master cylinder to make sure it is uh, uh, it can move smoothly inside the master cylinder. Just push it inside. Okay, so the first piston already inserted, but we have to make sure the uh, slot for the stopper is at the correct position before we proceed to the second piston. So we have to make sure the stopper can fit easily. So it will move like this. So we have to make sure that the slot is at the correct position for the stopper to be inserted. Okay, now the stopper already inserted. So we just tied it up. So before that, we test it first. It is whether it move smoothly. Okay, next, just insert the another cylinder, another piston inside the master cylinder. Then we reconnect the pin into the master cylinder. So double check it whether it is locked and move smoothly. So we have done reconnect it. Just place back the reservoir seal, and now reconnect the reservoir to the master cylinder. Okay. Okay, now uh, screw back the reservoir to the master cylinder. Now we have done. So next we are going to refit it to the vehicle, but before that we are going to do some inspection for the pushing rod. So here we get 19.87. Next we are going to check at the push rod at the brake servo. So here we got 19.74. So if we compare the reading from the master cylinder and the brake servo, uh, it has a little bit clearance between the push rod and the piston, so that to avoid the brake always have pressure on it. So in this case we don't have to we don't have to adjust the push rod, so we just refit the master cylinder into the brake servo. So just rescrew the two pieces of the nut to the brake servo. Okay, next we are going to connect the brake line to the master cylinder. Just rescrew it. Make sure it is tight. Now connect another brake line to the master cylinder. make sure all the connection is tight enough to avoid any bad incident.